In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your bellows on your Chevy Cruze. It's located behind your front wheel. You could take these plastic covers off by hand if you want. Like that. Or you can use your gun if you have one. Just go slow. Once they're loose, you can remove your hubcap. I'm using a 19mm socket, and we're going to remove the lug nuts. Remove your wheel. We're going to mark our tie rod and our inner tie rod and the nut to begin. I always do this as an extra precautionary when putting back together. Use a 21mm wrench and break free your jam nut. Once that's free, we're going to take our nut off with an 18mm socket. I put some penetrating oil on there to help out. Remove your nut. You're probably going to need a tie rod puller to do this job, so just set yours up, whichever kind you have, and you're going to push this stud out like us, and then it'll be free. Our inner tie rod is stuck inside our outer tie rod, so I made sure my nut is loose, and I'm going to heat up my outer tie rod so I can move the inner tie rod. It's a 13mm wrench that goes on this nut here. This is how you adjust your alignment, so you don't want this to move too much. So I'm going to heat this up and free it up. And now we're going to turn this and try to free it up like that. Just be mindful of knowing where your crayon mark is and where you marked it. Just be careful, it's hot if you had to heat yours up. So now we're going to turn it and we're going to count how many turns. You may need to hold the other end just in case. I sprayed some penetrating oil in there, and now we're going to undo this, and we're going to count the turns. It's another reason why I mark it, so I can see when I do a full turn. So I'm going to remark mine. One, 2, 3, 16, 17. So I'm going to put a 17 on my strut. So I remember how many turns. And take our nut off. Make sure you hold that inner tie rod in case. Now we're going to take our bellow boot off. You're going to squeeze this clamp with some adjustable pliers. And save that. Now we're going to remove this clamp for the bellow. I'm using a very thin, long, flathead screwdriver. I'm going to put it where that clamp pinch is. And now I'm going to twist, and I'm going to loosen up that clamp. And loosen it up so you can get it off or break it. Ours is still hot, so I'm going to get a rag to hold that. And now we can pull this off. There's a little lip here that you're going to have to get it over. If you put a flathead screwdriver there and pull at the same time, it usually comes off pretty easy. Now we're going to put our boot on. I've already gotten my zip tie started. Now Now you're going to slide it onto the tie rod. And it should swivel pretty well there in the notch. And now we're going to attach our zip tie. If you need to, you can push it past that little notch to get the boot on the back end. But you're going to slide it onto the rack. And then you're going to get your zip tie around there and tighten it down. After you tighten it, you can cut the excess off with some wire cutters. Now we're going to put our clamp on the other end. Get my hose clamp ready. You can also use a zip tie on this end, just don't over tighten it because it does need to swivel for alignments. Bring it back down where it belongs. Make sure it's living where it belongs, and then release your clamp. Again, do one more check, make sure that moves. Now we're going to put our nut on. And we're going to put it all the way down to our yellow mark. Now we're going to put our tie rod on. You may have to move this over and spin it on. Now, once you get it started, you're going to start counting the amount of turns that you had when you took it off, and mine was 17. So I'm going to start here with my yellow mark at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 15, 16, 17. And now we're going to move our nut towards the outer tie rod. We're not going to tighten it down yet, and we're going to put it in the knuckle. Put your nut on. We're going to tighten that down and torque it. Now we're going to snug this up. We're going to torque this to 26 foot-pounds. And then we're going to go 1/8 of a turn. Now we're going to tighten our jam nut. Put your wheel on. Start your lug nuts by hand. Oh yeah, we start at the one at the bottom and walk the wheel on. Now you can tighten them in a crisscross manner. Using a 19mm socket, we're going to torque our wheels to 100 foot-pounds. We're going to do that in a star-like pattern. Now we're going to put our hubcap on. Make sure you line your valve stem up. And your lug nuts. And then just tighten them down by hand.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.